This is a film about Stockport in 1966, 46 years ago. We start off with the general election of that year when Idris Owen was the candidate in North Stockport, and the bits of pictures you see here are the filming that was done in Heaton Moor and of the screenshots of the television. That's Joe Grimond there now, and now we've got Reginald Maudling and Dennis Healy. Heaton Moor Road, the cars going up and down, a busy place it was in those days, and we'd do a tour of the polling stations, particularly the one at St Paul's Church. People going in and out. This is the church hall here. We see later on the number takers. That's the railway station at Heaton Chapel, and of course the planes still going overhead. That's a BAC 111. But Labour were fighting a strong fight as well, although Arnold Gregory didn't win this time, he did the next time. Here's the Tory club. Put a tiger in your tank was an SO slogan of the time. People coming home, commuters coming home from work at Heaton Chapel Station. Owen, by the way, was one of the local building people, and in fact he built Priestnall School, which we'll see in a short while. After it was completed. We're back to the polling station at Heaton Moor and people coming in and going. And there you can see some number takers on the right-hand side there, collecting numbers from people going in. Now we come to the election results. This is the BBC one, as you can see, all in black and white, it appears to be. And it's where Harold Wilson was leading the Labour Party and won a victory. I think this is the first announcement as a mayor reading the results out there, but there was no change wherever that was. Chatham, it looks like. And that was a fairly well-known broadcaster. Here's the swingometer, which was introduced to show how things were going as things developed. I think that's Exeter, that is, and it's Gwyneth Dunwoody winning for Labour. Here are the results, and I think they can't be read easily, but that shows the Labour gains throughout the general election. But now we come to the town itself. Stockport was quite an industrial town in those days. This is Broadstone Mill, which was out to let then, since bought by Richard Sim, who's made success out of developing it. That was a picture of Holsworth Mill, which used to have Myers in it, the mail order people. And now these pictures are of streets which no longer exist because the M60 motorway has demolished them as a result of the building of Junction 1. That's a Coronation Street type shot of many of the buildings that looked exactly like Coronation Street did in the Granada television series. Here's a picture of the power station and central Stockport, looking pretty grim. Tiviotdale Station, the East West Railway, long since abolished, but replaced by a motorway. And there's the viaduct. Craven Lathes, one of the biggest lathe companies in the world. And the canal, now filled in completely. This is the one that we're trying to empty, or open rather, I should say. This is the back of Freelands in 1966. That's Freelands Chimney. Since knocked down, there's the Freelands factory. Was the Reddish cotton spinning company, and it was making door chimes when I worked there for about 20 odd years. This is Lancashire Hill being knocked down. It was a pretty awful sort of place, although it's replaced by some quite nice flats which got infested with lice, but have since been cleaned up and clad, and are very nice flats these days. You can see them in the new Stockport movie that's been made in 2011. It looks as though a bomber's hit it. Well, it had, really. And large chunks of Stockport, not just Lancashire Hill, were knocked down in the 60s and 70s and replaced by modern housing and flats. You can see that these were quite tall buildings, back to back, and there's a thing. This is the houses where we lived, where we first moved in. They were still being built when we moved in November 65. Our house was one of the first to be built. In fact, it was the show house. And here we have Priestnall School built by Owens and other people as well. And then the blocks of flats started being built in Heaton Moor. Here's an example of that sort of building, replacing the tower. Here's the tower blocks at Heaton Norris Towers, and this is the view from Freelands across to Manchester, across the golf course. And here we are, the engine house of the mill that I worked in being this is Mersey Way being built, the front end of it, the bit near the Mersey Square, and typical supermarkets and the shops in central Stockport. This is Underbank, the thing leading up to the marketplace. We get a picture in a moment of the Bushwick shop with the water company owned by the council, and the usual sort of people that were there no longer. Even Peter Carlson's has now closed. And certainly the next shop, the Kitchen Boutique, has gone a long time ago, Portobello too. And now we've got the place that Tick used to go to, and other parts of the town centre. I think that's where the bank now is, RBS, and that's the hill up to the marketplace. That's outside the town hall. This is about 400 yards from the beginning of the Mersey, looking at the first open bit of it. Mersey Square, when the buses used to gather, no longer they're across the other side of the viaduct now, in the newish bus station. And the marketplace, going since 1220, and still pretty busy even now, and busy then. But doesn't things look a lot greyer? There's a lot of smoke about in those days, before smoke abatement, before that sort of thing stopped the fug going around, which really did cause an awful lot of fog. And you see the price of food. Very reassuring in many respects compared with what they are today. Still a good flower display, and that still goes on, and that's what it looks like after the finish. St Peter's Church, we're looking down into Hillgate, and in a moment we'll be seeing Winters, which in those days was a watch shop. Now it no longer is, it's a wine bar of some sort, but that bridge is still there, and of course now it's a pedestrianised street which the buses go along it. I think this is not Three Shires, it's the bank, the NatWest Bank, and that's in Heaton Mersey. That's up on the road, quite old houses. This leading down the Heaton Mersey Bowl, which you see down there, and now we're looking at the back of Priestnall Hay, which is the Hans Reynolds Club. It used to be where Sir Charles Reynolds lived before we got to Stockport. He was the boss of Reynolds Chains, the factory was just down the way. And here we are at Priestnall Road, Didsbury Road School, and a car park and a park nearby, which was overflowing at that time with children. It had almost 1,000 pupils. And here's the bowling green in Heaton Mersey, still going strong. And there's some nice flower beds in the area when the park's in Heaton Mersey. That's a fine example of municipal activity. Of course, after this time, the council built a £700,000 nursery, which now works for other towns. This is the posher houses, the Victorian merchants' houses on Mersey Road, and some of them also on Didsbury Road, which had absolutely huge gardens. Many of these houses have been turned into things like nursing homes and so forth like that, and some have been turned into flats. This is looking down from Didsbury Road into the back gardens of some of the larger houses, and you can see they were pretty palatial places, probably all turned into flats now, I guess. I'm not sure about that. In a moment we'll be coming to Heaton Mersey Village itself. Here's the church, St John's Church, still there. Got the cemetery around it, and some rather nice bijou houses surrounding that, which have been done up in the past few years. So that's it. That's Stockport as it was, smoky, still industrial, in 1966.